Hello everyone. Thank you for watching this video today. The title of this is going to be more about the dark night of the soul. So I know many of you think you could be going through the dark night of the soul, or you may be experiencing just symptoms of the dark night of the soul. Which quickly, if you haven't seen the other video that I have about the Dark Night, I'll explain to you what this is. It's basically a time during your spiritual awakening when you are in sort of a void of darkness. So you're feeling so unsure about anything because you're not being guided to what you're supposed to be doing. You're not tuning into God or the universe. You're not getting like signs and signals that you're on the right path necessarily. Well, you may have spurts in between this time that you do, which keeps you going, but it's mainly a time of like deep, deep, deep reflection, going within in a very deep way and feeling so much of your own inner emotional stuff, things that need to come up and be purged, and just you're feeling everything on a really deep level because you're going from one way of being, the way that you've always been, and you're in this phase of kind of transforming like a cocoon, like a dark cocoon, and you're transforming into the butterfly. Okay, so now you kind of understand what you might be going through. That's a phase during the spiritual awakening. It's a phase that could last anywhere from like 2 to 4 years from what I understand. So as you're going through, it just depends on how much resistance you have and if you actually will move through the resistance and allow these feelings to come through and don't give yourself such a hard time and really nurture yourself and take care of yourself. That depends on, if you are doing those things and allowing this process to take place naturally and, being gentle with yourself, then the process won't last as long. Okay, so now that we have a basic understanding of what the dark night of the soul is, I figured out more information on why and how we determine the depths of the dark night and how long it takes. Okay, now this is really important information, and a light bulb went off in my brain when I was doing my other video on the dark night of this, not the dark night of the soul, resistance. And when I was thinking about this concept and also polarities and how polarities operate in our universe and in our world, in our third dimensional reality. Let's just put it that way. So when we are going through the dark night of the soul, some people experience it really, really, really deeply, and it lasts a really, really long time. Now, the reason for that, from what I've experienced myself in my own awakening, is that I was always somewhat spiritual. I was always, kind of interested in these spiritual concepts and all that. But I was a totally different person than what I am today. That was inside of me. Who I am today was inside of me then, but it wasn't able to come through all the things that were blocking it. All of my walls, all of my past judgments, feelings, patterns that I had, those had to all come out through the dark night of the soul. Now, my dark night of the soul was very dark and very deep, okay? And some people have a more even thing with it, but oftentimes you'll find that you will be blasted into this darkness. Let me tell you what it depends on. Because we live in a world of polarities, for me, I got blasted with this spiritual energy, like, okay, and I went really, really, really high into the heavens or into outer space, wherever I went. I definitely went really high and I felt elated. I felt this sense of oneness. I felt my heart explode open to love everything and everybody. So, as high as I went, the equal and opposite force, okay, the polarity of that height that I had gone to became now my dark night of the soul. Okay, so I went as high as I went up here, the reverse of that, I went down that far. So I hope that makes sense, because for me, I was like, wow, the light bulb went off. So for as many things as I had to transform and change and shift and purge, like that amount, how much I had to actually change from the person that I was, and as high as I went in my awakening, the opposite became true of how deep I had to go and how much I had to purge. My greatness of what I could become made me go to the darkest depths that I could have ever imagined. Okay, so this is so like eye-opening and inspiring, because this will give you hope if you are feeling so down and so in darkness and so defeated and thinking that it's never going to change and that you're always going to feel in this, like, you know, waves of emotional pain. Well, the lower you go and the deeper the feelings of darkness, the higher up you have to go, or the higher up you went. But that, the highest heights of where you went and what you felt, the oneness and the love and all this beauty up in heaven, whatever, wherever you went, or whatever you felt during that heightened sense of being, will become balanced into your regular waking state after the dark night of the soul. So this is the hope. This is the message that I want to give you today. This is what I want you to understand, that you were shown a glimpse of what you could become all the time. Then you were shown the things that needed to be changed, or you are being shown the things that need to be removed from your being so that you can express that heightened sense of yourself all the time. So you can be assured and feel confident and happy that if you're going through a really, really, really low time, then you know that you are destined for greatness in the biggest possible way. And so do not give up. Do not give up on your path. Keep moving through. Keep being kind to yourself. Keep being gentle with yourself. Keep making those small changes and taking those small steps to get you out of that feeling. But that greatness, or that feeling of spiritual bliss that you had when you first went through your awakening, will descend into your body, and you will embody that always. So you will be that after your dark night of the soul. So this is what people always ask me, and I just, I didn't really have a clear answer. And then it's so funny how things just come to you and the light bulb goes off. And it's like, in my Circle for Awakening site, there was someone who was talking yesterday, and that's when the light bulb went off. I had been thinking about this thing, resistance, and in the video I did before, I was talking about resistance, and I was thinking about it, and then I was thinking about, wow, sometimes the dark night of the soul is something that we resist. And he was speaking about, he didn't know if he was in the dark night of the soul, but he had gone to this place of spiritual bliss, like we all do. In the beginning of our awakening, we awaken to the beauty of the world and the oneness and everything like that. And people ask me all the time, well, I felt so great. Like, why, am I ever going to go back to that? Yes. Yes. You not only go back to that, it's more balanced, and it's actually descended upon you, in you, and you embody that. So it's not such a heightened high, it's more like a peaceful embodiment of that energy. And so the two merge in the middle, and you allow these things to come up that were holding you back, and at the same time you let this spiritual energy descend into your body, and they unite and they become one. And so now you are experiencing the embodiment of that high. And so whatever the gifts were that you were given during this heightened high. So for me, I learned that I was a teacher and that I was a healer. And so, but when I went into my dark night, I'm like, I can't do anything, much less heal or teach or anything. I cannot do a thing except for try to just live through the day pretty much. That's how hard it was sometimes. And I was just like taken back by all this like emotional pain and stuff. And I'm like, oh, is this ever going to end? Yes, it ends. And then the teaching gets to come out, and then the healing capabilities get to come out in a way that's very balanced, in a way that people on earth can relate to. So this is the reason for the dark night of the soul. This is the reason for the heightened high that you experienced in the beginning, and it will balance and it will harmonize, and you will be able to access the other realms if you wish. If you wish to speak to other beings in other dimensions, if that's your thing, then you will be able to do this consistently all the time. If you are a healer, then you will be able to heal people whenever you wish to do so. If you are a musician, then you will be able to play the most beautiful music, and it will come from a place, a centered place of grounding. You will just know, you will gain the information, and you will just be able to play in the best possible way that's so in alignment with who you are right now and what you are trying to express through you in this moment. So okay, I think that's all I wanted to say about this. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below the video. If you'd like to schedule a guidance session with me, my website is below. And also, if you would like to join our Circle for Awakening site, which we have a forum and we have questions and answers. If you have any questions that you need help with, I'm on there pretty much daily answering questions. We're also doing live Google Hangout shows once a month. So if you're really serious and committed about your path and you really need a little more help, then the Circle for Awakening site would be a good thing for you. So thank you all so much. I love you. I hope you all are having a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.